At the time of recording, Peterbolt has just broken the point record for the most amount of points in FNCS Grand Finals. This got me thinking, what is the theoretical most amount of points you can win in FNCS Grand Finals? So in today's video, that is what I set out to do. By using a combination of maths and looking at tournament formats and the average limbs, we are able to perfectly pinpoint the max amount of points you can win in FNCS Grand Finals. Something else we must take into account is there are 2 days of FNCS Grand Finals, and each day has a slightly different point format. For example, day 1, a Victory Royale is 16 points. The second place is 6 points, third place is 6 points, fourth place is 6 points, and so on. And each elimination is worth 4 points. However, on day 2, there's a point multiplier by 1.5, meaning that limbs are now worth 6 points because it's 4 times 1.5. This means that overall placement and elimination points go up. So theoretically, the most amount of points you can get purely from placement on day 1 is 96 points. That is considering you win all 6 matches at 16 points per Victory Royale. Elimination wise, let's say the maximum amount of eliminations which anyone can get is 20 limbs per match. And if it's 4 limbs per match, that's simple maths of 480 points. So the most amount of points you can theoretically get for day number 1 is 576 points. Day 2 on the other hand, now we have this multiplier. So let's say you win all 6 games again for day 2. That will equal 24 points per Victory Royale and a whopping 144 points just purely from placement. And now for eliminations, let's say once again you get 20 eliminations per match, 6 points per elimination, that is 720 points, which means that overall in day 2 you can come out of a whopping 864 points. Combine both day 1 and day 2, you get a whopping 1,440 points. So there you have it, the theoretical maximum amount of points you can win in an FNCS Grand Finals. But this doesn't really sit right with me. I mean, who's really going to drop 20 kills every single game and win? No one's actually going to do this. So I wanted to find out the average maximum amount of points you can win in an FNCS. First things first, what's the notable pro who's dropped the most amount of wins ever in an FNCS? Well, that would be none other than Vino and Queasy. Vino and Queasy back in Chapter 4 won 6 out of 12 games, 50% of games. This current FNCS format, that would on average accumulate around 120 points purely on placement. Now what we need to do is find someone with the highest amount of average limbs in both day 1 and day 2. And the player who has the highest average eliminations in FNCS Grand Finals happens to be Reet. On day 1, Reet averaged 3.7 eliminations, and on day 2 he averaged 3.7 eliminations. Overall, across 12 matches, this would equal 44.4 total average eliminations. Now all we need to do is factor that into the current format to find out how many points he would have got. In day 1, his average eliminations were 3.7, times the amount of points you get per elim, which is 4, that equates to 14.8. Then we need to do 3.7 times 6 for day 2, and then we times that by 12 to see the total amount of points. So the final result is 199.6, but because points are only in whole numbers, we round up to 200 points. So we have the average of limbs, and we have the average amount of wins. Now we just need to fill the gaps with the rest of the placement. To save you guys the hassle of all the maths, I'm just going to go out on a limb and tell you the highest average amount of points that one team can get is 1,162 points. So that is the highest probably possible we're ever going to see in FNCS. However, Peterbolt has just managed to break the record of over 1,000 points, so he's not too far off the highest amount he can actually possibly get. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and if you want to watch more videos like this, then do check out some of my other videos about the history of FNCS pickaxes and all of my other videos.